The dollar ripped so hard to the downside. I have to say I was taken out of a few trades as I gotta remind myself, stop trading the dang FOMC meeting. It is brutal every single time. Let me know if you guys have ever gotten wrecked trading the FOMC meeting. I certainly have. I have also made a lot of money doing it, so it's like the FOMC casino house every single time. All of a sudden the trend changes and the dollar went down and Bitcoin went down with it. So I think the whole narrative is that liquidity is being tightened. They did not mention stopping quantitative tightening at all. Matter of fact, they just said we're going to keep going with the tightening. So let's get into the charts here, and I will start it off with the usuals, Bitcoin price action, and I'm just going to throw it up here on the big screen. Let's get it up here on the big screen. I'll do the dual screen action. Oh, come on. I hate when that happens. It gets stuck right there. Dual price action, and I'm going to throw on my regular chart and just go through all the time frames on Bitcoin as this is what we are looking at right now. Starting it out with the daily, and Bitcoin does seem to be putting in a bit of a top here. This is a confirmed local high as we took out yesterday's wick. And I do suspect we could get a short-term bounce, but overall, I'm looking for a little bit more downside action. Not only do we have the stochastics crossing down from the critical zone, typically you want to see close over closure to get kind of the major downside. We will have to cross up above 28,164 today, which, I mean, it could easily happen here, guys. But what else has happened here? We got our first negative sloping BBWP, so volatility is beginning to decline. And let's just look at the last two times that this happened. Right, so I'm just going to mark it off right here with a nice horizontal. The last time that happened, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a downside move. And this is where we got the negative slope there. And let's see, one other read.
Meet Don Key says, bro knows what he's doing. He has Van Goghs on the wall.
Straight up, my 13-year-old daughter.
Van Goghs.
The Van Goghs on the wall. I'll tell her you said that. But let's just check out Bitcoin price action. The last few times that has happened, it is marked. So essentially when volatility begins to decline, you want to see an opposite reaction. Volatility began to decline there, and that was the beginning of a 40% bounce, if I remember correctly. That was a 42% bounce to the downside. Volatility began to decline here, and we did continue onwards and upwards after a big downside move. So you want to see an opposite reaction. When volatility declines, typically you're going to get an opposite reaction. Here we saw a little bounce after a huge sell-off. So what would be an opposite reaction as volatility is declining? You would expect a little bit of downside action. And we have been saying, hey, if you're looking to get into this market and not buy the higher high, then you want to get in on the not 0.5 or the 618, somewhere in this zone. And so even if we do spike one more leg higher, I do ultimately think Bitcoin will retest at least 25,000, if not 24,000 over the next coming weeks. What else did I see on the 4-day time frame? This is kind of a clear giveaway as well. If we do get a tick below this level, which we almost did right here at 26,663, any kind of a tick below there, and I would expect a relatively quick move down to 25,000. And so, yeah, on the 4-hour time frame, I would consider not really a test of the green 55, but almost a test. You could see some, really large bearish momentum. Bearish momentum with this huge green-red candle right here. So that does imply some continuation, and we did not take out this low, but kind of taking out this whole consolidation here. And another dead giveaway was the 12-hour time frame closing below the 9 exponential. And I am pretty much targeting a move down to that 21 at 26,424.
We got 1,000 likes here already.
What up, guys? Thanks for all the love there and the likes.
Let's see if we can get some questions.
Let's move it on down to the lower term time frames. I would say this, as volatility is again declining here, you see the bounce, and we will cross down below 27,300. So I was targeting a bounce a little bit higher, but
Mike's Foxtrot Jones says, is it crazy to buy and sell the same coin about 100 times in a day?
as long as you're profitable, who cares if you do it 1,000 times a day? If you got a little robot going, but you can see this 15-minute time frame. I definitely think there is a chance we swipe up to 27.75, but that would be my next area looking to short, somewhere in that zone. And let's check out what NASDAQ did for the day. Huge down day for the stock market as well. Looks like a bit of a local top right there. Momentum's crossing down. Volatility is increasing. So could we fill out the range one more time? Definitely, with the banking sector taking a huge hit. S&P 500. Don't worry about it, Mr. Foxtrot. As long as you stayed profitable and didn't lose money, that's a win. You got to constantly remind yourself, hey, if you didn't lose, it's like going to Las Vegas sometimes trading crypto, especially going in the FOMC meeting. I'm going to hold myself accountable and say, look, next FOMC meeting, I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to trade the meeting. I'm just going to stay out. I'm going to have all systems down for 24 hours. It's so tempting every single time. But this bearish engulfing candle on the SMB, I would expect another leg down here. Perfect silver cross. And hey, is this going to be the greatest bull trap of all time? That is the great question. And I still do have the base case of the S&P coming down to about 3,600 over some time, especially with all the problems in the banking sector. Let's follow up on Dixie. So Dixie did gap down on the open and just putting in another lower high on the hourly time frame. So as the dollar goes down, you would expect Bitcoin and risk assets to go up, but apparently that's not the narrative. Apparently the narrative is about the yuan and how Russia is now going to be trading with all Asian markets and Latin American markets using the digital yuan. I'll throw up this this little Putin plug here today. The ruble y yuan. So Putin heralds the death of the petrodollar and the birth of the petro yuan. It says that they will trade with Asia, Africa, and Latin America using the yuan going forward. Nice move, Putin. I saw this tweet today. This regional bank insider, who knows what he is, but he says, I'm the CEO of a well-known regional bank. My bank is on the verge of collapse along with the entire banking system. If the Fed doesn't lower interest rates this week, there's going to be extreme pain for the world. Bank runs and complete halting of all the credit markets. Who else did I want to bring up? This guy, Preston Pish, said total capital buffer in the U.S. banking system is $2.2 trillion, while unrealized losses are between $1.7 and $2 trillion. If the banks had to liquidate their bond loan portfolios, they'd lose 77 to 91% of their capital cushion, highlighting the fragility of most banks. 186 banks are in U.S. distress zone. So again, that, we're getting some inverse correlations here, but let's see. You can see Tether had a huge drive up, when Tether, and on the daily, putting in a low, volatility is declining. I'd expect Tether to continue to bounce from here. That would be bearish for altcoins and for Bitcoin in the short term. What else? Bitcoin dominance looks like it did, put in a little bit of a top here, and I would expect this to go down a bit more. Bitcoin dominance goes down. Well, it gives altcoins a chance to rally. And this is one of the odd ones. Stacks has just been holding strong up here, but I do believe Stacks, which has been on a massive rally, probably going to run into some sell pressure here on the 12-hour time frame. Also, a pretty good sell was put in on the PMARP, which is this guy right here. As soon as you cross the exponential there, typically you get a good downside move as the PMARP resets.
They want to hear about Doge.
Let's hear about me some doggy coins. I'm going to throw
some doggy dog.
Let's get doggy up on the teleprompter here, sir. And we did say yesterday on Doggy Coin that coming into this green 55 was typically going to be a sell, and the bottom side of the range is currently coming in at 0.071 cents. What else can we line this up with? Yeah, pretty good sell signal on the jewel, and momentum is crossing to the downside. I would expect Doggy to play out some more downside.
MFC.
What's up, Sean B? Let's check out MFC. What is MFC? I've never heard of that one. MFC, is this actually Marshall Fighting Championship?
Wrapped ETH. Interesting. Sounds like
Uniswap.
Is Uniswap it's like the trenches of crypto?
Well, let's put on the regular chart for this one. Huge gap up. And here we go. Wow, you really can't see anything. This is a doggy do coin, sorry.
This is a doggy do coin.
This belongs with the doggies, and
Yeah, this belongs
I'd
to the
expect
streets.
more of the same down. And this wick probably does get filled out. And hey, how far down can she go? All the way down to whatever that number is.
That looks all the way up.
That's a lot of zeros to the downside.
Where are we going to?
When it comes to Bitcoin, I'd say down first. Bitcoin downside action first. And the 4-hour, could put in a bounce anywhere up to this level, coming in at 26.79, 26.7, maybe short-term bounce. But then probably continuation to the downside, as this was a massive girthy red candle for the end of the day, and the PMARP reset. So we will see if Bitcoin can put in a higher low here. If we can close a 4-hour back above the 618 fib, I would be willing to call this a bear trap. So where does that come in? Right here. Any kind of a 4-hour closure back above, call it 28,000, and I'd be looking for that massive 5-day uptrend to continue. I'll throw back on that Gaussian channel, which, look, all the bullish indicators are there for a macro bull breakout, but we've got this whole banking collapse on our shoulders here, and if the stock market goes down, I don't believe the decoupling has happened yet.
MindGrips LLC says Shibu Inu.
Should you buy right now?
Shiba Inu.
I would say wait for 24, 25,000 if you can, if you got the patience for it. I know it's hard not to FOMO in. Let's get into some Shiba coin. There's Shopify. SHIB. I know that one was asked about a lot yesterday.
Let's get some more people in the live too. We're at 100 people right now. Somebody share this.
Share, yeah, give us a like, give us a
Somebody
share.
share.
Hook us up with a little
Mind Grips
shareism.
LLC shared the live.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Mind Grips.
What do you think about Powell today?
I think Powell kind of reassured the markets that they're going to continue with quantitative tightening. They're going to continue with rate hikes if they need to. And he got a bit frazzled at the end when people were asking him about bank deposits. Are all the bank deposits going to be covered by the FDIC? And he implicitly said no. And he basically said, if your money's in a small bank, alongside Janet Yellen Yellen's really the one who said it. If your money's in a small bank, get it out. That's what they said. Put all your money at JP Morgan and Bank of America. And I love this tweet today from Mr. Balaji. He said, look, whoops, that's too big. He said, get into Bitcoin before the digital lockdown. Perhaps it's intentional, perhaps it's simply emergent, but essentially what he's saying is the infinite money is here. How we got here is a matter of history. The question is how to get out. Fed is launching CBDC in July. You have 90 days to get your money out of the bank. After that, you're going to be trapped. It's a devalued digital dollar. It'll be a digital lockdown or Bitcoin independence. So here it is, the Federal Reserve. They said, look, Chicago Federal Reserve announced FedNow. That's the central bank digital currency. Will start operating in July. They provide details on preparations for the launch. The first week of April, the Federal Reserve will begin the formal certification of participants for launch of the service. Early adopters will complete a customer testing and certification program informed by feedback from the FedNow pilot. So, does it get any more direct than that? FedNow is coming. Let's check out Phantom.
They want to hear about XLM or Bitcoin. And have you seen Florida governor? He's against digital money.
Yeah, so is the Texas governor. And I actually was considering putting another short on this one. This has been a relatively weak coin against Bitcoin. And with Bitcoin receiving the boo cake and really this one being a weaker altcoin and you getting some drives of hidden bearish divergence. You got the 2-drive variety, and I said yesterday we could get a move down to the 21. I would suspect a little bit more downside from that.
What does digital lockdown mean? We can't buy Bitcoin, question mark? This is from Golden Sunset 121.
So the digital lockdown is talking about central bank digital currency, where essentially this central bank digital currency will give the government the ability to control your money. They can say you have X amount of hours to spend this money or it disappears. Or how about this one? You can only buy meat on Tuesdays, right? Because, you know, Bill Gates and all those fools want you to stop buying meat because the cows are farting up the atmosphere and all that BS. You know, the digital lockdown says, hey, you can only spend your money in their parameters and don't try and avoid taxes because every dollar you spend will be accounted for. So it's complete control. It's complete communism, if you ask me. And Bitcoin's kind of the last stand. You know, if either you own some Bitcoin and you have some independent wealth, or you are stuck on the digital dollar system. The other option is gold, of course, but gold is not nearly as, you know, viable as a store of wealth and a way to send payments, right? So that's what it means.
XRP thoughts, Christina Mascolo. And we got 2,600 likes.
XRP is putting in a bit of a sell. So momentum crossing to the downside for the second time. And volatility was maxed out. getting a dual sell signal as well. And so, yeah, we could get a short-term bounce. I don't expect we get above the purple 200. I think down is more likely than not. And especially if we close anywhere below, call it 8 cents, then I'd be looking for a big move down back to the bottom side of the range, somewhere around, well, I guess it's only 7 cents, but after a huge pump out of nowhere, what was that, 30% to the upside? Again, very weak in comparison to what Bitcoin has done. So that, oh, this is XLM, my bad.
We want to see quant.
XRP and XLM is the same thing. Anywhere back below 38 cents, and I'm expecting a big move down. Let's check out Quant. Quant, almost a bearish engulfing candle. Perfect sell off the green 55 once again. And the question is, are we going to get back in the bearish control zone? Do we have any bearish divergence coming back from? Not really. This one's a little bit harder to judge, but generally speaking, if you get this kind of, Nike swoosh action, right? You get that. That typically leads to more of that. And with this one, I'd say, based on the 4-hour time frame, big bearish engulfing candle there. And we are getting a short-term bounce, but I would not be looking to get really long. And however, I would flip my opinion around if I guess if you can get a 4-hour closure back above the 618 at 126. So I would expect a sell right there and then judge it from there. If we put in a confirmed lower high and close back below 124, then yes, back to the bottom side of the range.
AJ111094, welcome back. He says, you're right. We lose the gold standard. We're controlled completely like communists.
Well, we've already lost the gold standard. The dollar is no longer backed by gold. I see somebody else just asked.
We want to see about VeChain, and welcome back, Justin Bieber.
Mr. Bieber is here. Have no fear. We got the Bieber back in the house here. So here's a perfect example of bearish divergence playing out very nicely. And this is the 4-drive philosophy. So again, if you guys do want to get a copy of the
cheat sheet,
the RSI cheat sheet, well, here's what it entails. So I guess I'll just mark off this area right here. So this is the local high. So you got a higher high, 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. And this is going to shape up for a really good trade, actually. 4 drives. And that typically gives you a shot to the 1618, which on the last high to low retracement, that would bring us all the way down to, so I will post this as a trade setup in the Discord.
Oh yeah, trade setups in the Discord.
So let's do that. So here, I would be looking to enter somewhere around here or here. So I'll just put a green box in there. So entry with a stop loss right above here. So let's see if I can't use the little trade short setup. Boom. That's almost perfect. Yeah, there we go. So this would be your entry right here off the green 55 as we're crossing down. If you want to front run it, you could do it somewhere right there. And then I need to do
It's the other way around.
No, that's the short. This is the stop. Ah, you're right. That is the long. Either way, I'm just going to post it like that. And see if...
They want to hear about Gala.
Discord. All right, let's check out Gala after I post this in the Discord here. It's always nice to find some really good trade setups in the Discord. Look at our guy, Crypto Soldier, posting a 48% gainer, flexing in there. Good job. But you would just go to free daily signals, and we would post her right here. Boom.
And that's a free trade signal, right? Completely free.
Completely free. V-chain short setup. Okay, let's move on to Gala. One of my favorites, by the way. I heard the tokenomics is not too great behind Mr. Gala Games, but this one has been a really strong performer, and the gaming narrative has just been amazing. So I got it right here. Gala could potentially go for more to the downside. Again, a lot of the shorts are setting up to the downside. This one I'm not so confident. This is on the 4-hour time frame. Momentum is to the downside as long as we're below 0.40. It looks like it could potentially cross up here. But you've got this trend line coming in, and this has been a day of lower highs for a lot of assets. So if I was looking to short, it would be somewhere off that green 55 again. And
Sean Bry K says, is the Bitcoin bottom in yet?
I do think there's a good chance that the bottom is in. We've gone over the macro conditions on why the bottom is likely in quite a few times, but I'll just go over a couple of them real quick. So let's throw up BLX, the index, and I will start it out with this Gaussian channel, which is GAU.
Bieber says, when do the alts pump?
I will definitely go over that next. So this is the Gaussian channel on the 5-day time frame. And we did have a 5-day closure above the topside Challenger band, or the topside band. And typically that starts your bull market. Here was the last one that we closed above the top side, and that preceded a 500% gainer. Now keep in mind, we can come back and test the top side. So where would that look like? A higher low, somewhere around 26,000, 25,000, something like that. But again, this one broke above it here and was a 130% gainer. And this was the big one right here. Again, we broke above, retested the top side, and these were all indicators of a macro low being in. And then, so that was a 6,000% gainer. This one back here, as soon as we breached above the top side of the band, we got a nice 16,000% gainer. So Bitcoin rallied from $7 up to $1,000. So that would be amazing if we saw something like that. But again, kind of, warning signals, any kind of a closure back below the mean band at 22.8. And I would say this would be a failed rally attempt. So the Gaussian channel, and I'll give you one more reason why I think the macro low is in. In fact, I'll give you two more. Here is the weekly time frame for the hash ribbons indicator, which I know if you guys been on the channel for some time, we're going over the same thing over and over and over, but that's what TA is. It's really boring. And Here was the blue buy signal that does indicate the hash ribbon, or the hash rate is going up. Therefore, we should see a pretty nice run. Just going over a couple of the last couple of major blue buy signals, but was this one back here. Bitcoin rallies from 38,000 to 69,000, so double your money, not bad. This one here, Bitcoin rallies from 18,000 up to 65,000, triple your money, not bad. We'll go over this one right here. Bitcoin rallies from 3,500 up to 13,000, so call it a 3x. And do we have any more? Well, this one back here, Bitcoin blue buy signal in, and we rally from $300 to $20,000. So we got the Gaussian channel, we got the hash ribbons indicator, and the last one I wanted to bring up was the monthly Stokes.
Justin Bieber says, what's the halving looking like this time?
Well, it's about 400 days out, and typically that is when you start seeing the bull market erupt. But here's the other thing I wanted to mark off for you guys is the momentum indicator, the stochastic. So I'll just take off some of the other things here, just and the monthly bullish divergence, which you've got massive monthly bullish divergence. Prices making higher lows, RSI is making 1, 2, 3 lower lows. But the momentum indicator crosses up from a very low level on a monthly time frame. This has represented macro lows every single time in Bitcoin's history. You can see just by using the stochastic. And look at the divergence. I mean, this is the 3-drive variety right here. So RSI is making lower lows, you can see, alongside price making higher lows. So again, monthly, we've got all these macro conditions going off saying, hey, Bitcoin is about to rally to the moon. So you better have some, and you better do it soon. That's my recommendation, but wait for the higher low at 25,000.
Higher low.
I'm so confused. Please help me. So what is hidden bullish divergence? Well, I'll show you right here. Prices got a low in right here. It's got a higher low, and another higher low. And you could even call that a higher low. So the 4-drive philosophy, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows. Whoops. And that would give us a drive to the 1618 based on the 4-drive philosophy. Well, only time will tell if it works out. But how do we get the 4-drive philosophy? Well, what you're going to do is do a bullish retracement from the high to the low. And that doesn't really get you that much higher. I mean, the 1618 is coming in at 91,000. If we do rally to the moon, I would expect some selling pressure at 91,000. If you get long now at 25, so how much money do you make? If you buy now and we make new all-time highs and hit our target, that's a 220% gainer. So let's get back to Justin Bieber's question on how to know when the alts are going to pump. When are the alts going to pump? And here is a couple of indicators you want to look at. One is the Bitcoin dominance, which you can see this massive range here, and essentially on the daily time frame, which we could get, I would expect this kind of continue to trail upwards and onwards. But this is the range. If we break above the range and then break back below it, that would be my indicator for some alt action. That's one way to tell. The other way to tell is the ETH Bitcoin pairing, which I put it right here.
Terry JB 6899 says, during the Bitcoin bull run, Is it smart to put profits in stable coins or Bitcoin?
Well, it depends on what your, strategy is. I mean, if you want to accumulate more Bitcoin, if you're buying altcoins with the narrative that altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin, but you want to hold Bitcoin long term, that's what I do. So it's totally up to you.
Joey Ducey says, is it safe to say Bitcoin will never fall below 20,000 again?
That I would not say that it's completely safe to say that. Where would 20,000 be? Right here. But by definition, on the hash ribbons indicator, we got that blue buy signal. Technically, you do not want to take out the prior low. The only two times, so we've had this hash ribbons indicator on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame. It's fired off 18 times in Bitcoin's history. And the theory has been, once that fires off, Bitcoin never comes back and breaks the last prior low. We can come back down close to it, okay, but with this caveat, it's failed two times. Once was back here after the coronavirus. So we got this blue buy signal, and then we took out the low right there, which I know it's hard to see here. So let me get this off. Can I delete this? Can I delete this? Yes, I can. So here's the only two times it ever failed. So technically you get the blue buy and you never want to see it break the last prior daily low. Well, coronavirus happened, a black swan event, and boom, we broke the low pretty hard. The other time that it has failed is right here. We did come back down and break there, but all other times in Bitcoin's history, when we've received the blue buy signal, you can see here that we've never come back and broke the last higher low. So here's an example. Even this one right here. So you get the blue buy signal on the hash ribbons indicator. We never come back and break that last prior low. You can see right here, we get the blue buy signal, Hugh rally. Never in Bitcoin's history have we gone back to $25. And I'm not even going to go over these last ones, but essentially the blue buy signals had about a 70% hit rate. So is Bitcoin going to show himself strong and show himself as an alternative form of currency, as a new way to bank yourself amidst the banking crisis? I would say yes, as long as the stocks don't crumble. Because we have not decoupled from the stock market yet.
Looks like we're back at 150 people. Wow.
So back on to Matic. I know a lot of people like Matic, and I'm going to put on my regular chart here. Matic, you've got momentum to the downside. You've got pretty much, well, you do have, kind of a flip-floppy price action on the daily. Let's see what the weekly says. That is generally the macro trend. So we have the opportunity to close a weekly. If we can close above, that can't be right. Above $1.12 this week, we need a reversal real quick here, which could easily happen. Anywhere above 125, and this thing's going to skyrocket and make new highs for this market. This is typically your buying zone along the silver cross. So maybe Bitcoin dominance starts to come down and some of these major altcoins start to party to the upside.
Doge.
We got another doggy request. Where are my doggies? Where are all my dogs at? This one is still looking rather droopy. You can see this. It's trying to dig itself out here by putting in a bit of a higher low on the weekly time frame with some divergence, but I would be waiting for the weekly to close above not 78 cents. Right now, it looks like the odds are in favor of kind of lower highs and downwards continuation. Let's see if I see on the daily time frame. Again, coming into the green 55. The way these moving averages work, it's kind of like punching a piece of glass. The more times you test it, the weaker it gets. So typically 3 times, 3 tests, and then it breaks. So we've got, I would say that's close enough to 3 tests, but it might be in for one more downwards swoop.
I want to hear about Jasmine.
Oh, I haven't got any questions on Mr. Jasmine in a long time. Again, looks very similar to Doggy Coin, and volatility is now increasing. I am goosing the odds in favor of the bears, and and we took out the range lows today. So target on Jasmine is going to be down here at 0.418. That looks good for some downside action.
They want to see about VXV, MJ23.
VXV?
Yeah, VXV. Correct.
Vector space. Biosciences. That sounds like something I want to get in. So any kind of a closure below 43 cents, and this one's going to go sailing down to the downside. It looks like kind of a sloppy inverted head and shoulders there. Invalidation, any kind of a closure back above the green 55, coming in at 59 cents. I know not very helpful, but I would goose the odds in the favor of the bears here on this one, and targeting a move down to 36 cents. Let's see if the 2-day
ICP, they want to know about ICP.
Insane Clown Posse coming right up here. I know, what a name. Who would name their coin that after that band? ICP.
And what are some of your favorite gaming tokens?
Gala, Mana, and Sand. I like Voyager. I hear good things about Immutable X. To name a couple. And I do like the gaming narrative. I'm not a gamer. I don't play video games. Joseph does.
Absolutely.
Joseph is my gamer in the house, so smash the like button if you like games. What's up, Panda Man? Back, LCX. Oh, we're getting a lot of requests here. Still 136 strong. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, do me a favor. Can somebody go to the YouTube? Oh, I'm going to give out some more coins. Where are they? Where are the coins?
Right there.
All right. If you go to the YouTube channel and you like and subscribe, you are going to get some silver sent to your doorstep, half-ounce coin, mailed to your door if you're in the United States. Sorry, we don't serve in Africa or Europe or China. But these are half-ounce, 99.99% pure silver coins. Got the Queen Elizabeth on the front, the coat of arms on the back. Apparently the Canadian Army, or the Canadian Navy SEALs and the U.S. Navy SEALs got together and won a big battle, and they commemorated it with this coin. So how can you win the coin? Everybody who sends a dang email is going to win. So it's pretty darn easy. All you got to do is go to our YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. Dang, I'm not going to be able to get into I haven't been able to get in my email all day today. Let me put it up on it.
South America, question mark? No.
South America,
Shout
sir.
out to South America, though.
By the way, we're also sending out the Bullish and Bearish Divergence Mastery. So if you want to get entered in to win the coins, which I'm going to do the first 10 emails I get today, all you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel and send an email right here to info@Bitcoin Advisors. Screenshot yourself subscribing to the YouTube channel. And I'm going to send you out a free silver coin.
Canada, no.
Hey, but do me a favor, like and subscribe, and that'll help out the channel. If you're enjoying some of the content, I'd be